Alrighty. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's HLAA Product Showcase webinar, Supporting Health and Wellness with Starkey Evolv AI Hearing Aids, with Andrea Hannon-Dox from Starkey. My name is Carla Byers-Mullen. I'm the Chapter Membership Coordinator for HLAA and your host today. We will start off by giving you some tech tips. In order to see captions for this webinar, please turn on the CC icon. You can click on Show Subtitle. To increase the caption font size, you can click on the CC icon and click on Subtitle Setting, and you can change the size of your captions. In order to view the full transcript in a separate window, we have a stream text URL that will be posted in the chat box. You can use that and open up a separate window to open the stream text to see the full transcript. The chat is available for any technical issues and for panelists only. Please click on the Q&A to ask questions for this webinar. We will only be using this feature to facilitate questions for this presentation. You can adjust your side-by-side view. If you click on the little icon in between the two screens, you can adjust your view there. This is our webinar disclaimer saying that HLAA is providing this as a benefit for people to learn about what options they have to deal with their hearing loss. And we do not endorse products or services, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and turn over the presentation right now to Ms. Andrea Dawson, and then go ahead, Andrea, go ahead.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Hello, everyone. I am very excited to be joining you today to talk about the health and wellness features that are available in the Evolv AI hearing aids. So it's an exciting time, certainly, in the hearing aid industry. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of exciting technology, and Starkey is really at the forefront of that technology. So certainly we know that life is dynamic, right? It's comprised of both everyday common activities as well as unique opportunities and experiences. So certainly full of both quiet and noisy moments that keep us engaged with one another and the world around us. So people with hearing loss often want to hear better, and research tells us that they also want all of the other things that you see here. So the ability to feel connected, to stay relevant, to stay sharp, to stay active and not be a burden, to remain independent. So lots of important things that individuals are seeking in addition to hearing better. And it was with those very things in mind that Starkey created the Evolv AI family. From the smallest invisible in the canal hearing aid, all the way up through the Power Plus behind the ear style, these devices really offer the best sound quality and performance available in the hearing aid technology space today. And on November 3rd, during that webinar, I talked about the elements of better hearing and effortless hearing with Evolv AI. So the foundation of this family centers around the notion of effortless hearing, effortless selection, and even effortless connection. And together, they make it possible for individuals to receive a personalized listening experience tailored to unique needs and goals, and also access valuable health and wellness features that provide many benefits. So once again, the webinar on November 3rd focused on how Evolv AI provides a personalized listening experience. And today I'm going to be sharing some information on the health and wellness features that are offered in this product family. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. So it's definitely an important concept to keep in mind, that the focus of healthcare is really shifting from not only treating a particular or specific issue or challenge or condition, to also treating the overall health and well-being of the individual. And this from the Mayo Clinic, or this particular quote from the Mayo Clinic. Starkey is definitely on the forefront of the hearing aid industry with innovative technology that makes the hearing aid more than just a device for addressing hearing loss and helping to improve communication in the best way possible. We offer technology that supports the overall health and well-being of individuals. So let's take a closer look at what's involved. We know that hearing loss is related to a lot of other health conditions, and I have several of those on the screen for you now. Diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, right? Even obesity, ototoxicity, loneliness. So there's quite a relationship between, or there are several relationships between hearing loss and other health conditions. And so that's, several years ago, we sat down and said, what kinds of features could we bring to the table, that would be able to support overall health and wellness? And we came up with some wonderful tools. So the wellness score, this is a feature that is designed to encourage individuals to be as active as they can be. So there are some physical goals and social and engagement goals as well. And the idea is for the individual to score points during the day to try to meet their particular goal. And then the person can compare their end result today to how they did yesterday, to last week, or even last month. So really it kind of all boils down to a form of gamification to help encourage physical mobility and activity, and overall social and environmental engagement as well. So that's one unique feature. Fall alerts, a wonderful tool. Starkey is the only company to offer a fall alert feature. So there are two versions of this: an automatic fall alert, whereby if an individual falls, a chosen contact, someone that they have selected, will receive a text message. They can tap on that text message and zoom in on the person's location so that they can go and help or send help if need be. So automatic fall alerts to chosen or selected contacts. And there's even a manual alert feature as well through the user controls on the hearing aids. So maybe a person isn't feeling well, so they didn't fall, but they'd like to get the attention of those individuals that they've selected. So maybe not feeling well, maybe fearful of something, quite a few different possibilities there. So Fall Alert is a wonderful tool and unique to Starkey as well. Reminders, big fan of reminders. So what happens here is that any number of daily, weekly, monthly, or even yearly events can be entered into the Thrive app, and the individual will receive audible notification through the hearing aid. So for example, heart medication, at whatever the designated time is, I'll use the example of 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. through the hearing aid, I would hear take heart medication. And those can be personalized by the individual. So a wonderful tool there as well. And so when it comes to the rationale behind these features, right, with the wellness score, we know research tells us that there are significant health benefits to being active. And here you're seeing some data on walking 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. I mean, just incredible double-digit percentage reduction in some very significant medical conditions here. So it's good for all of us to be as active, physically active as possible. When it comes to falls, I've got 2 data points here for you about every 11 seconds, an older adult being seen in the emergency room for a fall-related injury, and then also that 28 to 35% of individuals 65 and older fall each year. So again, just 2 data points here, but it is quite staggering. If you Google falls, there are pages of statistics. It's very, very upsetting. So introducing and having a fall alert feature is a wonderful and very valuable tool with the Evolv AI hearing aids. And then when it comes to the reminders, I used the example earlier of taking heart medication. Research shows us or tells us that only 50% of individuals take medication for chronic conditions properly. That means, of course, that the other 50% are not. And so just a terrible health hazard for individuals if they miss that important medication. So again, whether it's medication, whether it's also any other form of a task. It could be that there's a doctor's appointment and that reminder notifies of the appointment, to clean the hearing aids, to pick up Joey from soccer, whatever the task may be. And so if an individual leads a busy lifestyle, this can be a great tool. Also, if there are some memory challenges, how nice to have some reminders about different things. So I'm a big fan of the reminders feature as well. Evolv AI hearing aids also offer a variety of features that are designed to increase accessibility and give hearing aid users more control. We also know that there are several factors that impact successful hearing aid use. And I've got those on the slide for you. Things like dexterity, tactile sensation, cognition, visual acuity, and even the individual's support network. And then here you see a couple of data points around arthritis and memory impairment as well. So let's take a look at some of the features that are available in the Evolv AI hearing aids that support these considerations for an individual. So first up is Thrive Assistant. Starkey is the only company to offer voice-activated hearing aid controls. So if there are dexterity challenges, the individual can tap their hearing aid and simply say, turn my volume down, or press a button in the Thrive app and say, mute my hearing aids. So this ability to adjust volume, change memories or programs, and even mute the hearing aids through simple voice commands, a wonderful tool. Also, a few other possibilities with voice commands. The ability to access the user guide for the hearing aids or the Thrive app. How do I create a custom memory, for example? And then that information will be accessed. Setting a reminder. I can double tap my hearing aid and say something like, remind me to call Tim next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, my hearing aids are going to say, call Tim. Find my phone, oh my goodness, wildly popular here. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that one in just a second. Thrive Assistant, and then even smart home compatibility. So I've got a few slides, I think, tucked in on these. So let me go ahead and advance. So Find My Phone, wildly popular feature. We've had Find My Hearing Aids through the app for a while now. Find My Phone helps the individual literally find their phone. Even if it's on silent, they can double tap their hearing aid, for example, and say, where's my phone? And it will start the ringer on the phone. So they can find it hiding under the couch cushion, for example. So just a quick application there of Find My Phone. We know there are some individuals that frequently misplace their phones, so this is a great tool. And also, we're definitely seeing more and more individuals go away from having a landline and just using a smartphone. And if that ringer is off, right, that can be a really tough find if it goes missing. Other features that are important to know about: translate. So using the Thrive app, the hearing aid user can hear translated speech. So for example, if Carla says something in French, it will play through my hearing aid in English. A wonderful tool if someone is traveling, however, also very helpful in that many individuals are living, working, and maybe even serving in bilingual or multilingual communities today. So a great tool for a Q&A experience, there's a transcription, a visual transcription in the app. And then again, the hearing aid user would hear the translated speech through their hearing aid. That has been a very nice tool as well. Transcribe. Here is a feature that will capture a complete transcription of a conversation using the smartphone. And then that information can be saved and can even be shared with others. I find it to be a very nice tool for individuals who have perhaps reduced word recognition ability. So the difficulty with the clarity of speech, and they don't want to miss important information. Most of my personal stories center around doctor's appointments, instructions on using medication or the surgical procedure, for example, but can certainly also be used for things like the grocery list or the to-do list. So a nice tool with Transcribe. Also nice for those who may have memory challenges as well, the ability to go back and revisit information. Also with Evolv AI and the Thrive app, the hearing aid user has the ability to log into their Amazon account. And when they do that, or if they do that, it's not required, but if they do that, now it's the Internet of Things. So I can double tap my hearing aid and ask, what's the weather in Charleston, South Carolina today? And the weather report will play through my hearing aid. Lots of different ways this can be helpful to an individual. Again, a busy lifestyle, someone who needs instant access to different pieces of information during the course of their day, or perhaps again, an individual with memory challenges who wants to be reminded or have access to the information, multiple times, for example. So that can be a nice tool as well. Another element here is the smart home technology compatibility. My mom is the example I will use. She can change the thermostat by tapping on her hearing aid. So she can double tap her hearing aid and say, change the thermostat to 68 degrees, and the thermostat will change to 68 degrees. So that involves collaboration and the use of what's called smart home technology, but a nice tool as well. Certainly, not every individual needs that kind of capability, but a person who uses a walker, or perhaps is in a wheelchair, or is a high fall risk, might be very nice to be able to manage the thermostat or the lights or the television, right, from the comfort, safety, convenience of where they're sitting. A couple of different possibilities there. Self-check. Self-check is a tool that the hearing aid user can access through the Thrive app. And what it will do is run a hearing aid device integrity check, is what I like to call it. Hearing aids are out on the table. The person taps the self-check feature in the app, and the system will analyze the receiver, the microphone, and the circuit. Green check marks are the goal, but if there's a problem, there may be a yellow indication or even a red X that comes up. And then it's hard to see in this image, I think, but next to those green check marks are little gray circles. The individual can tap there for some support tools and tips to remedy the challenge if one is identified. So great example is Mrs. Jones wakes up on Thursday morning and her right hearing aid doesn't sound right, or maybe seems a little bit weaker than her left hearing aid. Her normal course of action would be to contact the hearing care professional or go into the office. But what she can do now is have the hearing aids out, run the self-check. Typically in that scenario, that example I gave, the receiver likely comes up with a red X, and then that little gray circle will guide her through changing her Hear Clear wax trap. So some nice tools that will not create any harm or any additional problem with the hearing aids, but really empowers the individual to remedy the situation quickly without needing to take the time to go in to see the professional or even make the call into the office. So that's a little bit about self-check. And then I'm just going to wrap up this health and wellness element. If I kind of, again, giving you the highlight reel of some of these different features, the Thrive Care tool is actually a tool for caregivers. This is unique to Starkey. The patient or the hearing aid user would be wearing the Evolv AI hearing aids and have the Thrive app. A loved one or a caregiver would download the Thrive Care app, so a separate app. The hearing aid user would invite an individual to participate with Thrive Care. So that individual decides who will have some access to different pieces of information. And what it does is it helps promote confidence, support independence, and allows that loved one or caregiver to see some different data points in order to be supportive and helpful to the individual wearing the hearing aids. So available in all technology tiers of Evolv AI, which is nice. And I think next I've got an example here of some of the different data points. So this gives you an idea of some of the different pieces of information a loved one or caregiver could see. So the different pieces of data that are accrued through the Thrive app can be viewed. So let me give you a real world example here. This morning at 10 o'clock, I was able to open my Thrive Care app and I could see that my mom already had 3 hours of hearing aid use under her belt. And she already had, I think she had, it was right around like almost 1,300 steps, okay? Now, if I were to open my app at 10 a.m. and not see any use time, for example, now I have an opportunity to check in on her, maybe give her a call or stop by and check on her. The other nice thing with Thrive Care is that notifications can be established. So I can make it so I am notified that my mom has met the different goals for the day or that she has missed the different goals. So again, just a nice tool to be able to check in, support, and encourage her. And then she's got this extra level of confidence or security, knowing that I'm able to take a peek at some of this information. So that's a little bit about Thrive Care. These various features I've been describing do vary as a function of technology tier. So I mentioned that Thrive Care is available in all of the Evolv AI hearing aids. The important thing too I wanted to mention, these features are all free. They are part of the technology. They're not additional fees required to use these different features. And thought it would be fun if you want to. We've designed a nice tool to help individuals know if the smartphone they have is compatible with our Thrive app. So if you want to take your phone now and scan that QR code in the bottom corner, you should come up with maybe a green check mark that says the phone is supported. And an ability to download the app. A yellow triangle would indicate that the phone is supported, but that streaming is not yet available. So having phone calls, for example, directly streamed to the hearing aids, or maybe a television program, for example. So, and then the ability to download the app. And then the third possibility is a red X, which simply tells the individual that their phone is not fully tested. They are welcome to use the app, but all of the various features may not perform optimally just yet. So I like this a lot. I think it's very important to know if a device will be compatible and to have that transparency, right, with regards to those smart devices that will be compatible. All right, and then just I think wrapping up here, I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about how the Evolv AI product family supports health and wellness. In addition to providing a wonderful listening experience, it's really wonderful technology for any degree of hearing loss and truly offers the ability to deliver user-centered or individual-specific care and support through the signal processing for optimal sound quality, and then also through the various features that are available. And as I was describing some of these to you today, please know that the idea is that not everyone is going to use every feature, but the idea may be what one or two of those different features might make a really nice difference for a person. So there can be, as many as is helpful to the individual, which is great. So, and then just wrapping up, I mentioned during the last webinar that this technology is really getting some attention. Starkey has received several technology design and manufacturing awards, including the 2022 American Business Award for health and pharmaceutical products. So that was very exciting. Evolv AI is definitely raising the bar on what's possible with amplification. And Starkey is going to remain committed to the promise of hear better, live better as we advance our technology in the future. So with that, let's see if there are any questions. Let me go ahead and open up the Q&A. All right, I see a couple of items here. I have a set of hearing aids similar to the bigger one with the button on the back. However, one broke and the stem that goes into the ear. I have not been able to financially get it fixed due to the out-of-pocket fee, so I'm using backup. Has the end piece that goes inside the ear been strengthened to where it does not break off? Yes, you should not. There should not be a challenge or a situation where that breaks. So the durability and the strength are definitely what they need to be. I appreciate that question. The next one says, can you please explain how Starkey hearing aids work with telecoils and loops? Loops can be very effective ways to hear in public spaces, such as theaters, auditoriums, and places of worship. Great question. So we have, depending on the style of technology, we do have telecoils in many of the different form factors. We have a couple of telecoil responses. We have where the individual would move through the program change to their telecoil memory or spot. That's one option. We've got auto coil, where the individual holds up the phone to the ear, for example, and the hearing aids automatically go to telecoil. This question in particular, was telecoils and loops. So in a loop environment, it's a wonderful tool, as you have stated, right? Takes away the effects of distance and reverberation. So absolutely can use the telecoil in a looped space, looped environment. Also good to know, Starkey offers a loop program environment. So the frequency response of a telecoil, a telephone, is different than a loop system. So keep that in mind as well if you are wearing this technology, to ask your professional about the loop program. It'll make that loop sound quality a bit more robust for you, which is nice. Oh, thank you for the comment about the talk being amazing. I appreciate that. I understand the program is recorded. How can I gain access to the recording? I'm going to let the great folks at HLAA comment on that. I don't know if one of you wants to unmute to address that right now, or
Yeah, that's okay. We'll address that at the end.
okay.
We'll
Very
have maybe time for just one more question.
Very good, thank you. Just one more. Tell us about the security of data collected and transmitted through the phone. Oh, great question. So as you would expect and hope, full encryption, there is no data collected through, I was talking about some data exchange even between the Thrive app, for example, and the Thrive Care app. No identifying demographic information attached to that at all. So completely secure. There is a cloud sign-in. There is security throughout the Thrive app, the Thrive Care app. So absolutely no issue with security there. So great question. I appreciate that.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Dr. Dobbs, for presenting today on Starkey's incredible tools. It's just amazing, the litany of things that are available with the hearing aids right now. It's incredible. I thank Stephanie for incredible court services today. This webinar will be posted to the HLA website at hearingloss.org. We will please check hearingloss.org for future webinars and recording. And I thank Dr. Dobbs for joining today, and thank you for joining today. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.